So good morning, friends. Today's session we will continue with Scala. So yesterday we have seen so far we have seen basic Scala constructs. Those who are on WebEx, please confirm that you guys can hear. And also I need to start recording. Okay, I'm starting recording the WebEx session. I hope you guys can hear me and see my screen. Yes, thank you. Okay, so far what we have covered basic constructs of Scala, and then which are nothing but loops, and then we have seen how to create functions. We have get into the details about collections, and as part of this we have seen how to create applications using SBT or Maven based Scala applications. We have set up environment for both, and then we got into object-oriented concepts. I have covered basics of what is a class, what is case class, etc. So now for first 15-20 minutes today, I will try to get into the details about problem statement. And instead of writing the traditional while loop, you have to implement in functional programming way. Okay, so here one thing you need to understand is when you try to use JDBC, especially the jar file, it's a Java code which is compiled into the jar file. There is no JDBC for Scala. We are using the Java based code. Okay, when we use the JDBC which is in Java, and as Scala is also Scala also will compile into bytecode, we can invoke APIs of Java without any issues. It's seamless integration between Scala and Java. You can use Scala jar files in Java and use APIs provided in the Scala-based jar file. And also you can actually have Java jar file of Java code such as JDBC, and you can integrate as part of your Scala application. So I hope most of you are familiar with JDBC coding in Java. Here also we have to follow the same approach. We have to create the connection object, and we have to register the driver. Here driver is nothing but MySQL JDBC driver. Depending upon the database you are trying to use, you can actually register the driver. So this is how you register. It's same as Java. And then using connection object. Sorry, 1 minute. Using JDBC URL, username, and password, we can get the connection using driver manager. And then you can either create a statement or prepared statement. I hope you guys are aware about the difference between statement and prepared statement. If you want to use where condition, and if you want to use bind variables as part of that where condition, you have to consider prepared statement. Here I'm taking the example of statement. Let me see. Someone is. I'm running in maximum mode only. Are you able to see? Okay, let me do this. Let me close these things out. Is it better? Or are you expecting something else? Okay. So here we are creating the statement. Again, these are all Java-based APIs. You can see I'm using java.sql.driver manager, connection, result set, etc. How you typically import. The import statement is similar to Java, but instead of using star, if you want to import everything within a package, you have to use underscore. You should not use star in Scala. That's one difference in syntax while performing the imports. And then we are executing the statement by invoking execute query, and we are passing the query. Okay. Here, typically in Java, when you try to create a string, how will you do? You will say this string yes equal to, and then you will say hello. If you want to develop in multiple lines, you will say like this, hello world. And then again, if you want to concatenate and if you want to go to next line, you will say like this, because Java enforces you to use semicolon at the end of each line. Unless it encounters the semicolon, it will consider this entire thing to be one single line or one single statement within the programming language. Whereas in Scala, we don't have the we don't need to end every line with semicolon. For that reason, if you want to write something in multiple lines, instead of saying like this, instead of saying val str equal to hello, we cannot use this because this itself can become one statement. Actually, I think we can use. It's not complaining. Okay, I thought it will not work, but it is working. Earlier, I ran into some issues with it. Anyway, probably it might work. I thought it will not work. Anyway, one way to, if it is not working, one way to write it in multiple lines is you put the entire string in yes, just prefix s before the statement, and then you can actually put your query or command in multiple lines. I thought this will not work, but this is working. Probably in a Scala interpreter, this might have issues, but here it might be working. I'm not 100% sure on that. I have to explore. I will take care of it later. Anyway, if you have any issues writing a string in multiple lines, you have to just prefix with yes. There are multiple ways to do it. One of the ways is to just put the entire string in yes after yes, and it is smart enough to figure out where it will end, and it will execute without any issues. Now we have created a Java result set. Okay. And earlier we have seen syntax like this. If you recollect, if I want to manipulate a list, okay, now I have a list. If I want to just add even numbers, what we have done, we have we said I dot map and sorry, filter, because I just want even numbers. So here I can say %2 equal to 0, and then you can do reduce. Okay, and it will give the count of all the even numbers. Okay, this is how we actually manipulate the simple collection such as I is nothing but Scala list. So we can use all the APIs that are available for typical collection. Whereas this result set is not a typical collection; it's a Java-based result set. Okay, so you will not be able to directly use the functional notation while performing operations on result set. So what Scala have provided is an interface called iterator, and then it has a method called continually, or I think it is a trait, and then there is a continually function. If whatever you are passing is exhibiting a collection behavior, you just have to provide the collection as first parameter, and second parameter has to have the functionality to satisfy the condition. In this case, result set is a Java object, and then .next, there is a next function on result set which returns Boolean. So what it is saying is we are trying to iterate continually on the result set as long as it has next. Okay, so that's what we are trying to do. And then this continually whatever this continually function returns, there is a method called take while, and take while actually tests the condition if it is true or false. So this is how you can actually read the second parameter. If there are two parameters, and if you want to read the output of the second parameter, this is how you can. So underscore dot underscore 2 will actually read the output of this. So if it is true, take while means, so it also again expects the parameter that needs to be passed to take while is Boolean. If it returns true, that means there is a record, and then we are applying the map function, and to the map function we are actually passing the element from the result set. So what it is doing, for every iteration in the continuous fashion, it is checking whether there is a next record or not. There's a record or not, and it's actually passing one element at a time. So this actually give you a collection, a typical collection. Okay, and then on the typical collection we are actually applying the map function and all those things. So here we are only taking the element from the first parameter. So map function always applies on the on one element at a time. So underscore dot underscore 1 will be the so this is nothing but a tuple, right? So the way we can access tuple is by using underscore notation, and using that underscore notation we are reading the element from the first result set. 1 minute, I'm getting some noise. Let me put everyone on mute. Yeah, okay, and then we can do whatever we want. In this case, what I'm trying to do, out of the result set I am passing and creating the employee object as part of the map function, and then I'm iterating through it and printing it. Okay, and also I'm using a global counter just to confirm how many records are there, whether it is working functionally or not. And then I'm just printing a record in each iteration. So for each is again an operator. Instead of writing a for loop, you can apply for each, and you can do whatever you want on a particular element. So here in this case, if you want to print each element after filtering, one record at a time in each line, then we have to say for each I will print ln. Okay, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 are the values. Here, one thing is, as I have mentioned to you earlier, Scala, you don't need to pass the parameter or explicitly say that it will take the parameter if the particular operation takes the parameter. In this case, println, if you want to write in traditional manner, the same command, you can say rect, and then you can say println of rect. You can do this. So all these things will work even without passing parameters, even if it just take one parameter, and if you are just printing and if you are not manipulating those things, we don't need to explicitly say talk about the parameters. Okay, so there is a question from Ravindra about take while. So I will explain that again. That is very important to understand when you are trying to deal with collections which are not Scala proprietary collections, but we are trying to use Java-based collections. So here, if you see, iterator continually is the function, and what we are passing to this function, we are passing a tuple. What is a tuple? Tuple is nothing but a series of elements. So what it contains? This tuple contains the first parameter is nothing but result set. And the second parameter, we are invoking a function. As I have mentioned to you earlier, in Scala, you can actually invoke a function as a parameter. Means you can pass a function as a parameter. So here we are actually passing result set dot next as parameter as part of the tuple. So this tuple have two elements. The first element is result set, and second element is the result set dot next function, which is Java based function, which is part of result set API. Okay, and then take while. So as long as this returns true, it will keep on processing the data. So to get that, what we are saying, we are invoking this function. Here we are passing it as we are passing the function as variable in the tuple. Here we are actually invoking that function. Okay, if there is a record, Why we are saying _2? Because there is only one parameter which is being passed to this take while. The output of continually will be whatever we are reading through. So there is one parameter which is passed to take while, which is a tuple, and we just want to validate if the second element is true, then we want to iterate. Otherwise, we want to just pass on. So here, take while will return true as long as there is a new record coming in, because we are doing it continually. And then if it returns true, then we want to pass the first element in the tuple. So that's why we apply the map function. We are transforming this tuple, okay, into collection now. So what is this underscore dot underscore one? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, one quick question.
Yeah.
Here, if it is underscore one means while the underscore dot underscore two, right?
Yeah.
If you do underscore one, what happens?
It will fail because you will be passing the collection to it. Wait.
The second, okay, first one is a result and second one is the value.
Second one is the function. It's not value here.
So it will execute the function.
Yes, it will execute the function, and then so what we need to understand is this entire functionality is actually okay. So it is a little bit tough to demonstrate. So this is not actually what we are trying to do is we are converting this result set. Okay, I'm sorry. Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. So again, I will explain here. So the output of this code is nothing but a collection. We are converting this result set into a collection. Okay. So what we are getting, we are passing a result set and a function to let me mute everyone. Okay, everyone is on mute. Look into the documentation of take while. Takes longest prefix of values produced by this iterator that satisfy a predicate. So here we are saying what is the predicate using which you want to build the collection. So the predicate is this one. So that's why we are passing this function to take while. And then map is typical map function, and 1 minute. Yeah, here we are just projecting the element. So what we are passing, there is only one record which is being passed. The one record is nothing but collection and a function. Out of that, we are trying to build the collection using this. We are trying to extract the collection now. So what this will do is the result set will be converted into a collection similar to this. Okay, similar to this, which is nothing but iterator. So is it clear, or do you guys still have issues? Can you please show the result set once? So result set is nothing but Java result set. So it will look like this. So here what we are saying, execute this query and get the result set. Okay, so what it will have? So there are 107 records in the table which we are querying, which is employees. That's correct, Mahesh. Mahesh has actually put it in right words. Take well stops evaluation immediately after condition is not met. It returns the longest prefix as long as element satisfy the predicate. Okay. So here the result set is nothing but the results of this query. There are 107 records, and we don't have any where condition, but we are extracting first name, last name, salary, commission percentage, and also an expression which is salary multiplied by commission percentage. If commission percentage is null, I am returning -1. If it is not null, I am actually multiplying salary with commission percentage. So what will be the output of this statement? It's nothing but the result set, a Java result set. Java result set is nothing but a collection, but it's not Scala native collection, it's Java collection. So we have to convert into Scala native collection if we want to process in functional manner. Okay. So this is the code which will actually convert a Java native collection into Scala native collection, and then we can do whatever we want. So here I am explaining again. We are iterating continually within this result set, and once this condition is satisfied, as long as this condition is satisfied, we want to build the collection, and then we want to return the collection. That's what this map of _dot_1 means. Okay, and then now this will give a collection just like this list, which is nothing but iterable. Okay, and then we can do whatever we want. What we are trying to do here, I am trying to pass each record in the result set, and I am trying to build an employee object. So in this case, employee is a case class. You can see here, case class employee. There are 5 columns, and then I'm not doing anything here because we need to follow best practices. In this case, instead of computing this commission amount in application logic, I am taking care at the query level itself, following a facade pattern. We should do as much as possible, reducing the intermediate layers. So here itself, I am actually doing all the necessary processing. If you want to display not eligible, you can say not eligible here, but when you have to put it in double quotes, I don't know the exact syntax. If you can actually get not eligible directly here, when you pass through the result set, you will not be able to extract commission amount as double. Instead, you have to use string, and then you have to do necessary formatting to take care of printing the first name, last name, salary, commission percentage, and commission amount. It's up to you how you want to deal with that not eligible and the commission amount as part of our query, as part of our exercise. And then for this will actually iterate through each and every element and convert an employee object, and then we are just printing each object using for each. Okay, just the way we have done here, we are doing here also. And here we already have a overridden method toString. So automatically when we invoke the println on employee type, it will actually execute this functionality, and it will display the details you want to display. And the final result, it will actually return 107 records. You can first run this. The way you should develop the code is, first you have to come up with a query, and you have to integrate the query as part of your code, and you will understand how many records it will return and all those things when you actually run the query in the MySQL database. And again, from your machine, if you have Toad or SQL Workbench, any tool which can connect to remote database, the host name is nn01.itversity.com. Database name is HR and the username is HR_RO, and password is ITversity. You can connect and you can issue the query, and you can use that query as part of your program. So this covers multiple aspects of Scala programming using JDBC connectivity. And also one more thing you need to do as part of the exercise is externalizing the values that are required for JDBC URL. If you think about it, if you develop a Spring application or something, all this driver, host name, username, password, everything will be externalized to your application. You should not hard code. If you hard code, what will happen when you try to deploy it into testing or production after developing the code? You have to refactor the code again. To avoid that, what we do, we actually externalize it. To externalize it, there is a dependency in and there is a third-party plugin or third-party dependency, which is called as typesafe config. So let me show you that, and then you can take it from there. Okay, this is application.properties, and then if you go to the source code, yeah, let me show in this. Not this one. There are too many. I have to clean this up. I think I have it in this itself. No, not this one. Yeah, most likely it will be here. Yeah, actually I have it in the same code. So if you look into this in the pom.xml, I use this com.typesafe config 1.3.0. If you want to get more information on that, I will highly recommend to explore by yourself. You can just say Scala typesafe config and hit enter. So this is the example. You can go through it and you can decide the way you want to externalize. So in my case, I am just using typical way of externalizing the parameters. My properties file have the key and value, like source host, source port, source database, source username, source password. And then my code have the necessary logic. So here I have to create an object appconf, and then we should know how to read the values by passing the keys to get the relevant information depending upon the environment you are trying to use. So try to use this one to externalize your JDBC URL. So it will take a while to complete this exercise. You can take, we have half an hour today, and also we'll continue on day after tomorrow. While doing this, if you have any questions, let me know. I will be glad to help immediately. Okay, so it's all yours now for next half an hour, and the next week, next class, we will try to finish off this exercise, and then starting from next week, we will get into Spark. And in Spark also, we'll be using a lot of Scala as part of some complex exercises. Okay. Yes, Ramesh, you can have Scala and Java code in same project, but you cannot have in the same program. You can have. So make sure you create the project using Maven or SBT. Don't just use simple projects. You should be familiar with how to build the jar file also. So make sure you build using Maven or SBT. While distributing code, we only need to, that is correct, we only need to supply jar file. Dependencies, we no we will not distribute the dependencies, especially the resources which I'm talking about. Okay, dependency is different. Dependencies, it all depends upon the way you are building the application. If you are building the application as a self-contained application, which will have all the dependencies to avoid any surprises, you can include all the dependencies as part of the job. Otherwise, it all depends upon how you want to distribute your application, or how you want to deploy the application. It's the decision the development team has to make, or architect has to make. Okay, I hope you all guys have the link to the exercise. If you have any issues accessing it, let me know. I will take care of it. I will take care of giving the access. I will take care of. Okay. I'm sorry. Those who are on YouTube, you are not able to see the screen. It got dropped in the middle. Okay, I will give the link. I will give the link, Ravindra. So that is the URL. So those who are on live session also, you guys can actually see this exercise. If you are interested, you can continue doing that. So what happened is there was a glitch in internet connectivity in the middle, and that's when it got disconnected. Okay, so those who are on YouTube session, you just have to raise the issues in the exercise. URL if you run into any issues, and we will try to resolve those issues. Okay, those who are on, I think all the Tavantians, you might have to check in your code in the SVN. That's what Ankit have mentioned, and also I forgot the person's name in the first session, Mahesh or someone. He also mentioned that everything has to go into SVN. So for Tavantians, I will be giving all the exercises upfront. By next session or by Monday, I will share all the 8 exercises which you will be doing, and so that you have them for reference, local to Tavant in SVN. Okay, and also you guys have to probably check in your code somewhere in SVN if you want to preserve that for future reference purpose. And also for Tavantians, I will highly recommend you do peer review and make sure you guys are doing in a right manner, because there are some senior folks in the who are taking this training who are who have better exposure in Scala and Java application development than me. So taking inputs from them will help you guys a lot. Okay, I will take care of it. It will be better if you explain with examples by developing live. I think you missed the last session, Gopi, if I'm not wrong. Uh, if That's why there might be some continuity thing. The same thing which I have shown today, I have actually executed live also as part of the last session. Okay. Anyway, I will try to make it as live as possible starting from next session. But today you can go through the exercise, and if you have any questions, you can ask me, and I will help you in resolving those things. And especially the Scala things, you will only understand when you actually practice by yourself. Okay, we will do that starting from the next session. As you are giving this feedback, I will do live demonstration for everything going forward. Okay. I thought people, especially from Tavant, the instructions which I got from Ankit, especially for the Scala and Spark workshop, is that most of you guys are on a project, and hence he told, give an exercise, don't get into too many details, and let them finish that exercise. That's what the instructions I got from Ankit. That's why for this exercise, I just give high level overview about what we are trying to accomplish, and I explained all the important aspect of the application, and I am asking you to perform the exercise. I am giving you ample time, 1.5 hours to 2 hours. If you have any issues, I will be glad to help you. But if you think that I have to give everything live, I will take care of that without any issues. But the way Ankit or Raghavendra have told me is, they don't want me even to go to this level. They just ask me to spend 15-20 minutes of time, explain at a higher level, and let people come up with the solution for the exercise. Okay. So again, I will explain the okay. Okay, we will take care of it from next session. From Monday, with respect to Spark, I will demonstrate from the scratch, and I will give 2 exercises. One for you guys, it will be simple who are new, but who are not on project, you guys have to do both the exercises. Who are on projects, probably you can do only one exercise, but whoever are not projects, who have ample amount of time, you have to do both the exercises. The exercise which you need, which is demonstrated, and the exercise on a different use case, so that you have idea about implementing a different type of use case using the same concepts. I will give 2 exercises from when we start on Spark from next week. One exercise I will demonstrate end to end, and I will ask you to finish that with little modifications, and then another, a completely different use case, so that you are comfortable in taking multiple use cases and execute those things. I will address that starting from Monday. Okay, for now, so the flow of the program is I have explained in the exercise. So what you have to do, the problem statement is to get commission earned by each and every employee. What we have to do for that, we have to connect to the database, issue a query, get the result set, process that result set, and print employee name, salary, and commission earned. Okay, so for that, if you use this as sample, I don't want to share this because I want you to explore. If you have to do that, first you have to write JDBC code. For that, you have to build the JDBC URL with username and password. I hope you guys are all from Java background. If you are familiar with JDBC, it will be very straightforward to understand. If you are new to JDBC, then it's a different story. Okay, we can take it offline, and I will provide the code snippet for you, and you can build it from there. This is all standard Java way of building application. There is no difference. Only syntax is different. You need to create a driver object. You have to build a URL, pass your name and password, register the driver, and then use the driver manager class, get connection by passing URL, username, and password. And then you have to either create statement or prepare statement, right? That is typical JDBC programming using Java. Here we are doing the same thing, but with a Scala style of coding. And then the traditional approach using Java is once the query is executed, it will generate a result set, and then you iterate through the result set, and you do processing using for loops, if conditions, etc. But we are talking about Scala, and we have to use functional approach. Functional approach, everything should be function. So that's why what we have done, we have converted the result set into a collection, and then we have built the employee object for each and every record in the result set. And if you want to do further processing, depending upon the type of processing, you can take care of it as part of this these APIs: map, reduce, fold, etc. There are n number of APIs on collection. You have to explore those things depending upon the use case, and then you have to iterate through it, and then you have to do whatever you want. Typically, what you will do, once this is done, either you store the results back to the database, or you will return to some other layer. If it is a web application, this is called as data access layer. From here, we will be passing to application layer or web layer, and from there, if you have to display on the website, you will pass these things to JavaScript or JSPs or servlets, and it will display on the web interface. That's the typical flow of the entire application. So whatever you want to do, you have to convert it into object, and if you want to apply some business logic also, you have to take care of it, and then close the connection and come out of the program. That's how it will be in traditional application development. The only difference is this piece where we are trying to implement leveraging functional approach over traditional while loop, for loop, and if condition. Okay. Anyway, most of these things are important if you want to build web applications or other type of enterprise applications using Scala. But here we want to get into data processing using Spark, starting from Monday. For those things, most of these, even if you don't understand many of these things, it is fine. We will be exploring Spark APIs, and you will be doing mostly functional coding using Spark APIs using Scala programming language. And I'm sure that you will understand those things without any issues. And also, as you guys have raised the concern, I will try to demonstrate and then give the exercises based on that demonstration, so that you gain confidence with both Scala and Spark by the end of the workshop. Yeah, you can have as many main classes as you want as part of your job. You can have, and when you run using SBT, if you want to execute jar file using SBT, you have to tell which main program you have to execute. It's like Java. In Java also, you can have a jar file with as many mains as you want, and then you have to pass which main function you want to execute in the jar file. Okay, so all the new folks, what you do is you spend time beyond the class, and you start raising the issues on the discuss.itversity.com. I'll be glad to help you. If you want this code snippet, I will share some important pieces with you, and you can build it from there. For example, probably I will remove this query, and I will take some other example like departments or some other table in this, and I will just show you a sample code, and you can start building this example base using that as template. And if you have any issues, you can keep on asking as part of discuss.itversity.com, and I will be glad to help you. If you are not getting confidence in writing this entire code, I will give a sample template for you, and you can take it from there. That I will do it by afternoon today. Okay, I'm stopping recording here because I have explained most of the important stuff, and we have only 9 minutes left. And if you have any questions, you can ping on chat, and I will respond. And that need not be recorded. Okay, for certification perspective, don't worry. If you have to give CCA certification or HDPCD certification and all, they will not actually test your Scala skills. At least HDPCD Spark, you need to write an end-to-end program, but they will not expect you to be master in Scala. They will primarily test on Spark. All the big data certifications, they primarily test on Spark, not on Scala. Okay. So don't worry if you feel it's getting too complicated for giving the certifications. Don't get into too many nuances until you complete the certification. For certification, the scenarios will be much simpler, and you will be able to deliver it with simple code, which I will be demonstrating as part of the classes starting from the next week. Okay. And let me stop the Hangout also. No, that's not legal to have dumps for certifications. We will not be providing any dumps or anything for certifications. You have to practice and you have to give the certification. If I raise a even if I publish one question, Cloudera is watching me. They will be blacklisting me and also the people who are on my platform. And I don't want to get into those things. There won't be any dumps. You just have to practice and give the certifications. And practice also, you don't need to practice outside of these classes. Starting from next week, whatever you do, with that itself, you can go and give the certification. Okay. So the username and password is HR_RO is the username. Password is ITversity. So let me stop broadcasting the Hangout session. People who are looking into this YouTube live session, we will be starting the scoop portion of this workshop in 5 minutes. So stay tuned. I will be launching the other live session in 5 minutes. Thank you. Bye.